Veterans Voices, sponsored by your San Diego County Toyota dealers.
260,000 Filipinos, they fought alongside the U.S. military in the Philippines, many of them making the ultimate sacrifice.
But after a victorious fight, those Filipino soldiers were stripped of benefits because of funding. Fox has Christina Audencial joining us now with the story of these unsung heroes fighting for recognition. Christina.
Good morning. Now today, many of these men and women veterans have passed on, leaving their families to fight for their names to be formally recognized as U.S. veterans. Senon Audencial, a guerrilla with the Philippine Resistance Movement, turned second lieutenant in the U.S. Army forces in the Far East.
He was a guerrilla and he was fighting the Japanese then, with, of course, with the Americans.
But like many Filipinos who fought and served alongside the U.S. during World War II, Audencial may never be recognized because of lost documentation. An often untold story that dates back several decades when the Japanese advanced on Philippine soil. 260,000 young men and women answered the call to fight under the U.S. flag.
It wasn't their war to fight. It was the United States.
Sita Gruta's father started out as a spy for the U.S. Benvenido Guillem disguised himself as a poker player who was well liked by the Japanese.
My father-in-law, as a guerrilla in World War II in the Philippines, his first and primary tool wasn't a gun. It was a deck of cards.
Guillem was eventually discharged as a captain. But despite his rank, Guillem, along with his fellow Filipino soldiers, never received their promised end of the bargain in annuity from the U.S. government.
In short, I would say it's a betrayal of trust.
You don't fight a war anywhere, and I spent 34 years in the military myself, and then get nothing for it. Yet, they helped liberate the Philippines. Yet, they defeated the Japanese, yet they saved the United States. And then Congress said, you're not going to get any money.
After the war, President Harry Truman signed off on the Rescission Act of 1946, stripping Filipino U.S. veterans of their U.S. nationalities and other rights and benefits.
All of these veterans were either petitioning, protesting, pleading in the halls of Congress for their due.
Retired Major General Antonio Taguba is a chairman of the Filipino Veterans Recognition and Education Project. Their goal now is to educate Americans about the heroic actions of hundreds of thousands of Filipinos who fought for their freedom during World War II, only to be forgotten. And yet, progress.
As a U.S. naval officer and as an American, I am very proud of what we're doing to correct this.
Since 2017, congressional gold medals have been presented to living Filipino World War II veterans or surviving family members who have verifiable records of their service. For families like the Guillem Grutas, the moment was bittersweet.
It's a little bit too late because most of them are gone. It makes me proud because it makes me emotional.
The fight is far from over.
What we're asking for is to have the United States president apologize to the veterans. Give them back their honor, their dignity, their reputation, because they're all relevant in American history.
For those whose names won't make it into the databases, your service and loyalty for a country many of us now call home are unmatched. And to my grandfather, Senon Audencial, we honor your name and legacy. This story is dedicated to you. Now, in the process of writing this piece, we also found out that my photographer, Christine's grandfather, also served in the same war in the Philippines. So the amount of locals that have ties to the 260,000 soldiers are astounding. And one of them joins us now this morning, Phil Peruganon, and I wanted to introduce you both to him. He's also a U.S. Coast Guard veteran himself. And Phil, if you can just tell us, your father served in World War II, and so you're still fighting for him to be formally recognized. What is taking so long?
Well, the thing that's taking long is that he served in the U.S. Coast Guard, and he had the hopes of going back to the Philippines to participate in the liberation. But what happened was he was on a, that's my father's picture right there. Mm-hmm. He was on a LST that participated in the Solomon Islands that was sunk by Japanese fire, and was eventually assigned to another LST that went to the liberation of Guam. which he participated in. But since he didn't, his unit did not land in official, was not part of the liberation of the Philippines. This also applies to those who served in Europe, who served in other parts of World War II. They aren't recognized because of the verbiage of Public Law 114-665.
Wow.
Phil, when we're looking at the photo and we see your father, how would you describe him? Tell us about him.
He was a very quiet man. He worked in the restaurant business, which is why he became a chief steward. He had a lot of experience in the restaurant business, and he enlisted in Chicago, took an LST down the Mississippi River into Gulf of Mexico, through the Panama Canal, and into the South Pacific.
Doing something like this for recognition is sometimes an uphill battle. I know that you've reached out to local congressmen, congresswomen. Have you gotten a response? Any indication of what they plan to do here, if they plan to help out?
No, I did get one response. I got a call from the field office of my congresswoman. Since I wrote to her initially, but since then I've changed districts because I have a new congressman because our districts have shifted. And I've written to him, but I've gotten and actually wrote to my congressman who represents me at work, where I work. Haven't gotten any responses yet, but I've made calls, left messages, nothing yet.
And you have to think about, it took several decades for this to finally be done, you know, that some of them could finally be recognized. So to get the verbiage now changed, we don't know how long.
Sounds like semantics, really. Well,
Yeah,
you
sure.
landed in this spot and not in that spot, and it seems like those little things really.
And just to give you an idea, we're talking about 260,000 soldiers, but so far only 18,000 have been recognized since then. So it is, and then there's lost documentation and all the like. So before we let you go, Phil, you're a veteran yourself. How does it feel knowing that you're serving also for a country your father also did, and now you're facing this battle?
Very emotional. I want my father to get the recognition he deserves.
And you now have two sons who are also in the Army,
Correct.
in the Air Force.
Yes,
So you are loyal to this country.
correct.
Yeah. Phil, we do thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this story, and we hope that, you know, the more that we get to talk about it, more about these untold stories, you know, gets a little bit of awareness. People will start to talk a little more. Yeah. Thank you, but at least he's being recognized here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. And go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you for coming in and sharing your story, and I see that emotion. Can't imagine what that feels like.
Thank you, Phil.
And just so you know, the Filipino Veterans Recognition and Education Project has launched Duty to Country. It's a free educational program that's now being offered at schools across the country, including here in San Diego. So if you want more information on this story or on that, you can head to our website and click on Veterans Voices.
All right. Christina, thanks for that.
Thank you.
And Phil, thank you again.
Thank you. You can watch our Veterans Voices special several times in the next few weeks, all happening before Veterans Day.
The next showing is Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Stay with us right here on Fox 5. We'll be right back.